Hello.
Oh, I see. We're going rap line.
I've been in Cypher 4 in it,
Yeah.
emotionally, spiritually,
Yeah.
ever since we reviewed the
Ecumenically.
blog. Yes, exactly.
Yeah, same. Same. Hi, everybody.
Okay, well, I tried to use my fancy dancy new microphone, but
Yeah, I
then
haven't
I
gotten
can't
mine.
hear.
Yeah, I
Yeah,
haven't.
that's.
I
I
haven't
was just
gotten
about to
mine to work
say.
either.
I can use it on my computer. I haven't figured out how to use it on my phone yet.
Okay, so it's not just me and my. Okay, good.
No.
No, we're all still figuring it out.
When is Doc gonna
Okay.
read the directions for us?
And yes, we should be. We
Yeah,
talked
Doc's
about
gonna read the
bedazzling our
manual and
mics.
explain it to us. She
Oh,
said
Soky's here. Okay, hold on. Soky's here. Hold on. I gotta find Soky. Oh, wait, there.
if once we get our mics working, the bedazzling will happen.
Yep.
Yeah, I'm gonna bedazzle it for sure. I just need to make sure it's gonna work.
Hey girlies,
Hi, Soky.
Hi. Oh, there she
how
Hello.
is.
are you?
Marylaura's here.
Yeah, I was about to text her. Okay, so she is here. Great.
Soky's
Hello.
here.
Oh, you have to use it with headphones on.
Hello.
Oh. That makes
Oh, you
sense.
have to use it with headphones.
Hi,
Welcome.
everyone.
Welcome to our neck of the woods.
Hi.
Welcome.
Waiting for Doc.
You're on our turf now.
Yes.
Hi everybody. I don't think I've ever spoken with Christina. Have I?
I don't think so.
Right. I know Katie. I know Te conozco.
Patricia.
Patricia. I have spoken to you before. Yes.
It's
And to
Quince.
you,
It's Quince, but you can also call me Lisa.
Lisa. And what's your name?
Leslie.
Doc.
Um,
Dom?
Doc,
yes.
like
I
Doctor
know
Who.
all of your faces, but I don't think. Yeah. I think I have spoken to all of you.
Yeah, we have.
Yeah.
We're all in the same universe.
We've been around.
Whether or not we've all
We've been
actually.
around.
Yeah.
All of BTS universe.
Around in this when army worlds collide. Yes.
That's the idea,
Yeah,
right?
exactly.
Yes, exactly.
It's like Marvel, when the different universes come together in one.
I love it.
Multiverses?
Yeah.
But I mean, that's the
Multiverse.
whole idea of these projects, right? For all of
That's
us to
exactly
get to.
right. That's all the
Yeah.
Marvel language. That's all I know about Marvel. That's it.
We've
That's all I
reached the
got.
end of what you
Ribbon,
know.
you
That was the end of my
flatterer.
knowledge about yes.
Hi, Audrey.
Yes.
Sophie, you look so beautiful. I love your hair that way.
I know.
Thank
Look at
you.
it.
I think it's because I'm wearing my husband's jacket.
Oh.
Let me see it. Okay, stand up a little bit and show it.
Oh, it's JK's thingy.
This is
Ah.
It's just that I put like pins on it. This one is JK with Yoongi. You know when they were in Bon Voyage? And then this one's and I just order more because I want to have it like full of pins of them.
Be like the 1980s when you had all the pins like going on the
Yeah, like the rock survive.
I had
Yeah.
the one
On the denim jacket.
but I
Yeah.
lost it.
I'm a
What do you
Marvel
lost?
man too, Mel.
I had the pin of JK's hand with his tattoo.
Oh, with the
saw it. I
tattoos,
think I'm gonna
yeah.
order
I
that.
lost
Yeah,
it. I need to get another one. Yeah.
Yeah.
Hi, April.
Well, the monster
Welcome,
one is
everybody.
so pretty. Yes, because
Yeah.
it comes in different colors. So it comes like pink and mustard and I think gray and black or white. I know it comes white. I'm not sure.
Hi,
The
April.
sweatshirt does?
Yes,
Or
his,
the-
Yeah.
his merch sweatshirt,
Yeah, the one that JK did.
Yeah.
from his merch collection.
I ordered
yeah, I
the
don't
one
need to
that
spend more
Jimmy
money,
did
okay?
ages ago. Still have not got it.
Oh yeah.
As in you ordered it.
Yeah, like you know when you buy it from Weavers, but they
Yeah.
don't release them immediately. Like you pre-order them
Yeah, it
and
ships
then
like
they
6
send
months
them
later.
to you one
Yeah.
day. Maybe for
Whenever they feel like it.
Whenever they feel like
Yeah,
it.
Stephanie, didn't you order V's bag and it's not coming until like September or something?
Yeah,
I
did
ordered.
the
Okay,
same.
so I ordered
Till August.
Jen's pajamas. They're coming in May, and then I ordered V's bag, and it's coming at the end of the year.
Same.
Oh,
What?
Yeah, Taeyong's bag. Remember that we were in the live and we ordered it together?
Yes, we
Yeah.
did.
Yes. Oh
Yep.
yeah, that's right. I remember.
Because I got it in like the round 2. They brought them back up, and I was like, "Well, it must be a sign from God that He wants me to have it." So here we go. And then
For sure.
And then I said, by the time I get it, I will have forgotten that I even spent the money, so it's free. So
Nice.
Yeah. And I mean, speaking of gin,
That's fair.
51 days. Only 51 days until he comes home.
51 days.
51 days.
Oh, we need to do tomorrow's to living on a prayer. We need to do tomorrow's TikTok story to halfway there.
okay, and then when we're one day away, can we do Les Mis one day more, please?
Make a video.
One day more.
Here I go.
More.
That'd be amazing.
That would be amazing. I hope we're writing
My
this
two
down.
worlds collide.
Final
I'm
countdown.
writing
What do we
it
use
down
for the
right
final
now.
countdown? When we get to 10, maybe?
Yeah. Oh, the final countdown with 10.
It's going to be off. The count's going to be off by a day or something, but I don't care.
It'll be an 80s countdown. Okay.
All right, so moving on.
Okay, so let's talk business. We'll give time for people to get in here, and then we'll get going on the real stuff. How about that?
Yeah.
Yep.
So bear with us, ladies. Bear with us.
It's okay.
Okay. Doc, you want to talk about the next item?
Hold on, I'm still opening things up.
Oh, I picked the one person that wasn't.
Yeah, you did. You picked the wrong one. Today was a special day, you guys.
What?
April 21st. What was today? Today, the first anniversary of
D-Day Good Day.
Day.
It is?
A year ago. Yes, a year ago today. D-Day came out.
I
Yeah.
was totally gone to the movie, but I was at a birthday party.
Yeah, and we got that amazing video drop from Yoongi this morning.
It
which
made me cry.
It was both cute and emotional.
Yes.
I was not prepared to be emotionally assaulted first thing in the
No,
morning.
I wasn't either.
Yeah. Did you
His
watch
little
it?
face in that very end, I was like, I can't take it. I can't at the end.
No.
I know. Did you get to watch it, Marylaura?
Yes, of course I did. I was on my phone this morning watching my husband. Wow.
How did you feel watching it?
I just love seeing his face. He's
I
just
know.
so cute.
I
Good
know.
D-Day, good day. I just yeah.
And I know every single ending the same ones, like D-Day, good day, tap.
Right?
I saw a tweet and I retweeted it on our account. It was like, Yoongi's booping you on the nose and there's nothing you can do about it.
Oh.
And then Jimin's like, what? What's going on?
What's going on? What is that? What is that? Don't worry about it. D-Day Good Day.
Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it.
It's fine. And you know
goodness.
what? If Yuki was booping me on the nose, there's nothing I would do about it.
Yeah, exactly.
Boop away,
Yeah.
boop away.
Boop away.
Yeah.
Boop away.
D-Day Good Day was trending on Twitter. Last time I checked, it had like 50,000 posts or something.
Oh,
Hopefully he saw it.
Yeah. So hopefully he did. Exactly. Hopefully he saw it.
my little boyfriend.
He's away for the longest, so that's
I know.
Wow.
I know. It was really nice seeing like the progression though from like
yeah.
Yeah,
like,
for those who
how-
didn't see it, I don't think I'll spoil it by saying he filmed a short, 15 to 30-second message on the day he did a lot of things related to his album and concert when he filmed the music videos and that kind of thing. It was just a short message and they spliced them all together in one video.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was just a nice greeting.
It was a nice little gift on the anniversary of the album.
Yeah, go
And
watch
I
it. It's on
love
the
it.
official
You need the
YouTube
best.
channel.
Yeah, it'll get you in your feels for sure.
I love that D-Day hair. Yeah.
Yeah, you see all
Yes.
of his hair, long, short.
Yeah.
I love
For
this.
sure. It's the best. It's the best.
I think it's the one that he did after the final concert that he was like the most sort of almost kind of weepy about it.
Yeah, you can tell he was still a little emotional.
Well, and
Yeah.
then he keeps mentioning 2025, and I'm like, I'm in denial about that, Yoongi. Okay?
I know, I am
so
too.
Can you not bring that up again?
Yeah. Could you have said 2024 one time, like I'll check in at some point, or like I don't know. Yeah.
Jeez.
Word.
No, and then he was like, I'll see you. It won't be soon, but I'll see you. And you're like,
I know. I know.
I won't
Well,
be
knowing
back
what we
soon,
know
but
now,
I'll be
where that
back.
son of a bitch actually meant it, it's like, wait a minute, I didn't like take you that literally when you said it the
Yeah,
first
we
time.
assumed that meant
Now,
see
I'm
us.
like,
We assumed
you
we'd
meant
hear
it.
from you.
He meant it.
No.
He
Right.
did his whole chest. He was like, peace out till 25.
You could have at least done it as Min Holly, like JK's doing.
True. Little bad.
He's doing what he has to do.
Yes,
account.
Instagrams.
He's doing what he has to
Okay, what's
do.
next, Katie?
If anyone who follows me knows, I spent the entire first half of the week completely absorbed with MNCR and Monochrome. which we're not going to dive into too much tonight because we have guests, but we do know that there's going to be some pop-up shops. We have other theories if you want to hear about them. We made a couple of long-form YouTube videos, so go check out our YouTube channel, Omni Project 529. There's a good solid hour of several of us going through the whole website with our crazy theories, and it's quite amusing.
It is very amusing. Probably none of it true, but very amusing.
Yes, and there's spoiler, there's a little blooper section at the end. Please enjoy. And what else? As of, I think this morning as well, Namjoon and his side piece Instagram account are still doing shit.
Namjoon is still up to it.
They're still up to some shit over there on the Instagram. They added a few more.
I think now everything that gets posted on the side piece account, he's now posting as a story.
Yeah, that's what I've noticed.
Oh, really?
And we've been calling it, because we can't figure out how to pronounce it. But you'll notice it's a pattern of RPWP three times, which Patricia's trying to figure out if that could mean anything, if it's transliterated to Hangul.
Well, did you guys see that they were, speaking of August D, did you see that people were paying notice to like the folders?
Yeah, I did see that.
Oh, in the video.
And like they're like all like very whatever coded or something? I don't know.
Well, one of them's the name of a song from one of his mixtapes, so I know that much. 7241.
I don't know. I'm not it's not my thing.
I didn't dive too deeply into that.
I think it's like I think the name of the account is the regular letters, the correspondent letters in Korean in the keyboard. That's my theory. Because they actually make a word. Make a word in Korean.
Yeah,
Patricia, then you need to add it to our spreadsheet.
Yeah, wake me up when it's over. Just tell me what it is when it's done.
Well, like the word is published. The word is published.
Everyone says I've seen people mention it has something to do with
Whatever it is, it's going to be too smart for any of us, to be honest.
Yeah, I can't. I've given up.
Give me the clip notes.
Everyone said I've seen people mention it has something to do with real me in Hangul, which is what he said that when he decided to go from Rap Monster to RM.
Well, it also means to me, which is like kind of interesting.
It's very.
We'll find out, but everything got cleared out,
Namjoon.
and now he's posting again, so maybe we'll find out soon.
Yeah.
These men.
we know
Yes, dipped in vinegar. I'm tired. Yes.
Yes.
My brain is not braining when it comes to all this.
Yeah. So, Steph, you want to introduce us and then our wonderful guests, even though they don't need introduction?
I know everybody knows them. Yes, we are Army Project 529. If you're here, you probably know that, or you're here to see our two wonderful guests, Marylaura and Soky, who we adore. Welcome. My name is Steph. I am one of the members of the admin team. Katie, you're next. Introduce yourself.
I am Katie. I'm also one of the members of the admin team.
Whoop, whoop.
She does a lot of things. She has her hands
Hands
in
our
all the pies.
social media manager.
Yeah.
Listen.
I'm Quince. I write the blog for Army Project 529, also on the admin team.
Cool. And I'm Christina. I do some video editing, design, and graphics.
And merch.
And some merch.
I am Patricia. I actually work on the map. I put the map together. I add people to the map every day.
She does all of our analytics too.
Yeah.
All the numbers.
Super nerd
Ladies have all
stuff.
started writing for the blog
You
too.
take care of it.
I'm the nerd.
She's real good at
She loves spreadsheets.
We appreciate it.
Yes. Spreadsheets are my moment of zen.
Yep. That's her thing.
Doc,
I'm Doc. I am on the admin team. I am in charge of research. So yeah, I put together the content that goes to Quince, who then writes the blog.
So what I'm excited about is once we get started here with our two guests is talking about how we take 6 of us to do what we do and it only takes 2 of them to do what they do. So I want to hear all their secrets on getting this.
Yeah, how can we have a vacation?
are you trying to
It's up to Marylaura and Soky to tell us.
Okay, Marylaura, please introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Marylaura. I'm Army, love BTS. I got into them like end of 2020, which is when a lot of people got into them as well. And yeah, I'm part of the Behind Army project. It's so
Awesome. Miss Soky, introduce yourself.
Hi, I'm Soky, JK's wife.
Yes.
He doesn't know it just yet. No, I'm kidding, but for real. So
I'm kidding, but I'm not.
I do work with this beautiful lady right here, Marylaura, behind Army, and yeah, we're
Okay,
excited
I'm
to
gonna
be
make
here with you
Marylaura
guys.
big.
What?
Make me
I'm gonna
big.
make
I'm
her
always
big.
big.
No.
She hates it
I'm
so
always
much.
the big one.
Marylaura hates it.
You get to be big spoon. You get to be big spoon today.
Oh,
It's
big
like, I swear to
spoon.
God, it's so funny because that's why she said it. I'm always big because she
Oh.
hates that she's the one who's always big.
I'm
Oh,
always
bless you.
the big one.
Well, you get to be big here too.
Okay.
You're in the guest
We
of
can, I
honor.
was gonna say we can take
But for
turns.
the whole
Yeah, we'll take
thing,
turns.
Okay.
I'll go back and forth between you and Sophie. I wish it like changed automatically based on who's speaking, but
But
it's
who
not
is that?
fun.
TikTok should do that. Yeah.
I know it really should.
Technology
they should.
needs to happen.
Yeah. It could, or at least like
But
switch
it
around.
will
Okay,
be too
let's get started.
much because
I'm
imagine when
very, very
everybody's
excited about
talking.
this. We have been wanting to do this for a while, but I knew you guys were really busy, and I was like, we got to be able to fit them in. And I think it's only going to get busier for you guys, so it's good that we got you in before next weekend. So, but we'll talk about next weekend in a bit.
Yes. Yes.
Okay, so I want to kind of hear about this, like, and I know you've told this story, but tell it as if you're at a whole new audience that's not heard this yet. So well, first tell me a little bit. You said you found BTS in 2020.
Yes.
So how did you go from, I really like this group, to I'm going to do a project? And I'm like, how did you kind of get to that place? Like, what was the, propelled you to that, like that point?
So when I discovered BTS, I had just started going back to therapy. So I was going through really, really heavy time in my life, like PTSD, postnatal depression, relationship had bust. So I was in a really, really dark place, but I had just started to like pick myself back up again. So when I discovered BTS, they really are, and I say this a lot, they were the soundtrack to my healing. And it was just beautiful to have this music that revived in me my love for music, writing. I went through a period where I didn't do anything creative. And just seeing them be in love with creativity and art and share it with the world with a message of healing really made me go, that is who I am. That's what I love to do, and that's what I want to do again. So, I mean, I fell in love with them so quickly. And then I fell in love with Army so much because I was like, these are my people. Right? These are my absolute people. And then I just thought, like, I don't know, the way that I guess consume art is if it really moves me, there is a reaction, right? There is a response. And so I think I was maybe into them for 3 months, and I thought, you know what? I'd written down this list of all these things I wanted to achieve, and doing a YouTube channel was one of them. So I thought, I'm just going to start a YouTube channel where I talk about the power of their music and how it's healed me, and reach out to other Army and see if they would like to share. And I did one episode, watched it, and cringed, and never went back to it. And I was like, who are you? You've been in this fandom 3 months. Nobody knows you. Nobody cares. Why would you even think that you could do this? So it stayed on my YouTube channel for like 3 years until it got revived again. And I reached out to Soky and I was like, you know what? Yeah, like I love myself more. I know who I am. Army's amazing. Let's tell our story. So that was kind of how it went.
So when you said that like you fell in love with Army, where did you fall in love with them? Was it like a TikTok world? Was it other places? Was it like, where did you kind of get to know Army as the group?
It was reading articles about them and all the videos on YouTube, because I'd just spend hours just like I'd put my son to bed and then I would just spend hours watching music videos, but also just going over, I think it's Celeste who makes those amazing about Army, about BTS, and just reading. And it was particularly when I would read all about the humanitarian things that Army have done, and finding out that there's one in an army, that organization, and I was just like, this is not a normal fandom. These are actual people committed to a message of loving themselves and loving the world. So that was really it. I hadn't spoken to a single ARMY, and I'd fallen in love with ARMY. Yeah.
That was going to be my question. Like, do you remember who the first ARMY is that you talked to?
Ooh. I would probably have to say interacted with was probably Jen. Yeah.
Okay.
I think Jen's probably the first ARMY that I interacted with. Like, you know, she commented and stuff like that. But yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool. So how long ago was that?
Ooh, so I started making TikToks like end of 2020. Yeah.
Okay.
End of
So you've been
2020.
at the TikTok part for a while then.
Well, I spent a year just casually. Like I would make a video and then I wouldn't for months and then I would like just watch. I spent a year just watching and then I just started like sharing my thoughts. I would just share like it was when it was still a minute, right? And so I was like, I'll just share a thought a day and I just would share my thoughts. Yeah.
Yeah. What about you, Soky? How did you kind of start on this journey? Wait, I'm going to make you big 1 second.
Yeah,
While I'm making you big now.
I'm like,
Soky, turn you big.
She's like, as long as she doesn't have to be big. Let's throw Soky there.
have you got pants on? Have you got pants on this time?
Yes.
Yeah.
Because
Leslie, I'm
that's
like
the
you. I
thing
know
that
what
happens.
it
I'm
is.
so used to
TikTok,
like we have
pants
this
are
whole
optional.
thing that I don't wear pants and I'm Mary. Can you see anything?
No.
No, I do have pants this time.
Your husband's got you covered very well.
Yeah.
But yeah. So how did I start it with ARMY or how did I start it with TikTok or with Marylaura?
All of the above. All of the above.
So okay, BTS first. Make sense? Like so I started listening to Stray Kids and I fell in love with Stray Kids. I was blown away. I've always been a very musical person. And I've always liked like music where there's a lot of dancing and a lot of like theatricals and things like that. So I went to school to study to be an actress. So that's something that calls me a lot. So when I saw BTS, I was like, no, I'm not gonna get into them because I was already into Stray Kids and I was like, I don't want to share these love. You know what I mean? I don't.
Yeah.
But then they keep, what happens with BTS is that they crypt on you, right?
Yeah, they do.
They start like, no, bitch, come here, you know, come here. And
Knock.
Yeah.
they got me.
Remember me?
You know who got me? Funny enough, who got me was Yoongi. Like he has something that he's like,
We don't know anything
Yeah,
about
we
that.
all know that. Yeah.
So I gave my, you know, I said, okay, I give up. Okay, I'll do it.
Give in.
I thought you were about to say I gave my life to BTS.
Yeah.
I know. I thought so too. I was like, that sounds great.
So I started listening to BTS and then I was already on TikTok, but I had like another whole TikTok, right? Completely different. But then when I started getting into K-pop, I was like, okay, no, this is like, you get into K-pop, right?
Yeah.
Right.
And then unfortunately, my first interaction with ARMY was not positive because it was when Yoongi was like, when I started, again, I was on TikTok a long time ago, but like K-pop TikTok, I started doing it with Yoongi was gonna go on tour. And the whole point is because I wanted to find people to go to the concert with because I was gonna go to the New York concert. And I had a really bad interaction with a big, gigantic creator here. And you guys, I think that already know me and that I cannot have my mouth shut. So I was like, you want to fight? It's on, bitch. So I fought a little bit. And then, funny enough, I met Marylaura because she started a project right there and then with the Yoongi concerts where the idea was for each people who was going to go to the concerts to donate $1 to certain charities. And I've always loved to work with charities and like my mom has always teach me to do that. And like I contacted Marylaura and I said like, you know what? Let's do it. Like, how can I help you? And like, we just did flyers and did things to give away in the concerts and things like that. I called her during the concert. We screamed together. And since then, we became really good friends. And that's how I got with Marylaura. But then I became friends with Sen and just started like knowing like people here and there. And I started noticing that they are very supportive. that person that I hadn't like like how you call it, like that little situation with. For
Right.
me, that's not army at all. Because
Right.
the type of people whose army is this, right? Whose community, who's like supportive, like smart, and want to create that community and not to separate army. So
Right.
I noticed that this was a beautiful community. So when Mary asked me, hey, I have this project that I've been thinking on, do you want to go ahead and co-host it with me? And I was like, yes. And she was like, I mean, I haven't even told you what the fuck it is. And I'm like, yes. I was like, yes.
Yeah.
Well, I've learned that's the secret. You ask people to join you before you tell them what their job will actually entail.
That is so true, Stephanie.
Very true.
That is so
100%.
true.
That's exactly the point.
That's how I did it as well. Yes. I'm like, don't you want to join me? And then when they say yes, you're like, it'll suck the soul right out of you.
Just a little you guys, each one has to pay $1,000.
20.
You guys already said yes.
Right.
It will take every extra hour you've got of your day. Yes.
Yeah, that's awesome.
So yeah, that's how basically it came to be how I met Army, BTS, and Marylaura.
So did you fall as in love with Army as Marylaura has?
Big deep breath.
No, like again, I just cannot lie. There's something in me.
Well, we don't
that
want
I
you
can
to.
never do it, bro. Like
I know.
I can't. I really like. I do love Army, but I do find that Army has changed a lot. Makes sense. Like when when we started first digging into Army, we loved the fact that Army was so, for the people. They wanted to help. They wanted to just do the charity work, that they wanted to support new people, that they wanted to, be, and I don't notice that anymore. I feel like Army has become more like, I want to shine, I want to be the star, and if I'm not the star, I'm not going to support you guys. You know what I mean? Like, for example, for our episodes, something that hurts me a lot is that when it's big creators, Army is there. But when it's more smaller creators who are as fantastic as the big creators, they don't.
Right.
So in my eyes, it's like, but she's so wonderful. Why don't you guys want to get to know her? You know what I mean? Why don't you? She's just as amazing as all the other big ones.
Right.
Yeah.
So I do think that it has, and also the whole, I think that a lot of people also using Army and BTS more for cloud and for, getting followers and stuff like that, rather than for what Army used to be for, which was like, again, yes, supporting the members, obviously, it's the main thing. But also, like, my point is, like, it's 44 million of us, right? How can we not use that power to do actually something fucking tangible? So something to change the world, to do something good. And that's what Army used to be about. They gather $1 million in one day, And when was the last time that happened? So
yeah. What do you think? What do you think brought on the change?
More people in the fandom, obviously. Like the fandom got way bigger. Also, I think that this might be a little controversial, but people tend to be a little selfish with the things they want to support. Make sense? So if I'm from this group of people, I just want to support my group of people, and I forget that there's enough other problems in the world. It's not just my problems and my group of people and, just me, but there is people all over the world with different issues. That's why with what we're doing with Marylaura, we make sure that we're helping elderly, kids, animals, world hunger, as many things as we can, because we have so many issues in this world. It's not just one. It's not just this little section of the world who's suffering. We're all suffering in some kind of way.
We love that, because we are in our community. We stress we want armies all ages, any like whatever country you're from, like just come and be here. And there's no there are no cliques. Like you don't have to worry about I'm 65 years old and nobody understands why I like BTS. come and hang out with us and talk about BTS with us. If you're, 20 years old and you don't have real life friends who love BTS, fine, come and hang out with us, meet, and that kind of community is important for us too. Like, there's everybody out there who needs somebody to enjoy this with, and maybe sometimes it's not even about BTS, but they just need somebody. And so, we want to cultivate that community where everyone feels welcome and remembers that there's more people out there than just the ones right here,
Right.
Yeah.
Well, and sometimes it seems like the ones that have the most negative voices can be the loudest. And so, and that's in any kind of area of life, right? Like if it's a sports team or whatever, sometimes it's the very worst of the worst. They get the most attention and they get the stories told about them and they're highlighted. It's the people that are doing good that are kind of harder to, because they're more quiet, right? Because people that are doing it for the right reasons, for the most part, aren't out there just saying, look at me, look what I'm doing. And so they tend to be quieter. And then I think you kind of get, especially for baby army, I think a lot of us are baby army or, newer army. And you kind of start stepping into that world and it's intimidating because you are around people that have been there for a lot of years and, or for longer. And they have a very particular way of the army that they know and the group that they know. And so you kind of, to me, I know that if I walk into other social media stuff, and I was this way at first with TikTok, it's very intimidating, right?
Yeah.
Because you don't know what everybody else knows. And some people aren't very patient with you about it. And as soon as you kind of get those first kind of negative remarks, it's kind of like, oh, I don't even know if I want to, I don't know if I want to dive into this. It's a really interesting phenomena. The protective instincts, I think, sometimes kind of go a little overboard and people take things very personal that aren't meant as personal towards the guys sometimes, you know what I mean? Like, I think we get more wrapped around the axle about stuff than the guys probably ever would, but left on our own devices, I mean, that's what we tend to do. So
this brings up a really good point, though, because one of the things that I know that we wanted to ask you guys about, because we have run into this ourselves, we're like, we didn't necessarily set out to be content creators. Oh God, why did you do that?
because you were talking.
No, you see? You're
She just
in
Front.
Feel the power.
We've never
the
punished each other.
she doesn't even tell you she's gonna
Get
do
Tay,
it.
get Tay in the frame to protect you.
Like a hot seat. She just.
We didn't start this. I don't think any of us really set out to be thinking we were going to be content creators. We were just like, we're going to help out with this project. And so we kind of wanted to hear like what your guys' personal experiences as content, like what your expectations were versus what the reality is of being like a content creator in this space.
Yeah,
So-
and also if you're willing to share just any experiences, positive or negative, you had going through that. Because I think we've talked a little bit about like some of our experiences. We were like, whoa, like I was not ready for this. And yeah, it does a number on you up here.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah.
Do you mean in terms of the project or
In general?
General, even
In-
if,
just in
even in
general?
general.
Just as content
Go
creators.
ahead. Yep.
Just,
Be ready. It can happen.
Steph is a producer. Steph is the new producer. Is a TV producer.
I'm like camera one, camera two.
Like,
Maybe
TikTok
right.
needs-
Yeah.
you know who
Embracing
needed
Great
this
with
as a
that.
technical director.
No, wait. You know who needed you? Coachella needed you on fucking day one with freaking ATs.
I'm available for hire.
Yes.
yes.
Hire me, Coachella.
Coachella.
What's another job, right? Like,
Yeah.
Concert producer.
Yeah.
I think negative. Oh, look, it's very. I think from the very beginning, the offset with Soky and I, we were like, we really do just want to break any. Even all through high school, I was in primary school, I was that girl that had like 7 different friendship groups. I was always like, Monday I sit with these guys, then I'll go sit with these guys, because I just loved people and I just liked hanging out and having different conversations. So I noticed, like Soky was saying, when I first started with Army, there was so much community, right? It didn't matter who you were. All you had to say was you were Army and people would flock to whatever it was that you were doing to support you. And then I do think that the pandemic changed a lot. I think about 2021, is when I started to notice that there's a lot of fractioning, a lot of cliques, a lot of we're over here, which is fine, right? Communities, you're going to find little pockets to belong. But it was no longer just about belonging. It was almost like gang, like we are this crew and you are that crew, and there's an it crew, and then and all of that stuff. And to me, I just gives me anxiety, it churns my stomach. And so from the offset, we were like, no, we really want this to be about fuck all of that. Like we are, everyone's story is important, and we are a community. And if you took one person out, Army wouldn't be the same, right? Every single story matters. And I think the most negative thing has been seeing how for some people, wanting the spotlight is more important than just having a seat at the table, right? Very early on, and you guys were thrown into that stuff, unfortunately, when it all kind of happened, was that this person had a seat at the table. You had a seat at the table. You were welcome, but it wasn't enough. And I feel like that probably was the most negative thing that I've experienced is why can't we all just be supporting each other, rocking up? And Soky already said it really well. Support the big and the small. Can we get the ego out of the way and just actually celebrate people and give people a chance? Because we have such amazing conversations with Army during the lives, and then the YouTube episodes as well. Like there it hasn't been one that I have not cried, that I have not fallen more in love with the person sharing their story. That takes guts to share your story, especially share your story about BTS. We know what the world thinks. We know how people see that and view it. So I think, I don't know if I've answered the question properly, but I think that would be the most negative thing is the ego, the clickiness, the wanting to be in the spotlight. If I'm not, then I'm not going to bother. And also, I don't know if you guys have noticed this as well, but we often talk about how sometimes we find that is the lack of support because some people, not all people, some people think, I should have come up with this. Like a kind of like subconscious envy that they might not even be aware of, but then they're going, I should have come up with this. And so because of that, I'm not really going to give it my full support because I feel some kind of way. That's kind of what, But so
another thing that I feel like I've kind of noticed, and this is kind of a newer thing, I feel like I'm just exploring, and maybe it's my own, I'm not really sure yet how to deal with it, so I'm struggling with it. But I think that, especially TikTok, and I know you two are that way, I know our group is that way, we really try to come with, we're just very authentic, there's no show here, we just are who we are, and I think people appreciate that, and they come to know that, they know us, they know you, and they consider us friends through this really, the way that we do this right through social media and through TikTok and stuff. And the thing that I found is that's unfortunate about being a part of something that you didn't realize what it was going to become. Like I had no idea is that those people that come to know you and they become your friends, then they sort of have expectations of what that friendship should look like on their side. And they don't understand necessarily that, like for me, this project, like we have something almost every single night, right? So like I'll get invited to other lives and I'm like, I can't just because we have a team meeting that night, or I have this that night, or I actually have to spend time with my husband that night, or, because the project can take so much stuff. And I think people sometimes get their feelings hurt and then they're like, well, if they're not actually, real, and then they kind of, but you can only do so much, you know what I mean? To build, you don't want things to be one way, and you can try to make them not one way. I'm always so fearful that I'm going to hurt somebody's feelings, but you can't be everything for everybody. You know what I'm saying? And that's hard, I think, when you're in this spot,
You're very much like me, and I love that I have Soky because honestly, I could not have had a better partner in this because she is the one that's like, we can't please everybody.
Right.
Okay. We're not here to please everybody, and people who want to be a part of this project from a genuine place won't have a problem with those little things because they'll understand your heart. But the people who do throw a stink, they're not worth it. And it's hard for me because I'm like, people please, everybody happy. And she's like, no, we can't please everybody. And I really appreciate that because I think you need that, right? You need that in any kind of space. You can't be everybody to everyone. It just, as you said, your husband needs time. Like we have children, we have lives, right? So I think people can forget that side. Yeah.
Yeah, we do the same thing. Luckily, there's enough of us that, like, if somebody can't deal with a fire somewhere, we'll just send another one.
Yeah. Tag team and tag you're it, just like old WWF.
Listen,
Yeah.
there's only two of you, but you guys have like 24-hour coverage at least, right? Pretty much 24-hour coverage.
Yeah, you're in way different sides of the world, so you've got like night and day coverage.
Can I say, I love that people from literally the opposite sides of the world are working together on a project and made friends because of it. Like,
I know,
really,
it's amazing.
like we talk about us,
cool.
but you're far away, man.
That's the thing with army.
We have volunteers who are also like, we have people in Australia, we've got people in Europe, all over. We've got volunteers, and like, so sometimes things will get done when we're asleep, and it's amazing.
Yeah.
No, honestly, I don't know how we do it, just the two of us. Like we often talk about it. I'm like, I don't know how we do it, but we just.
I mean, what hours do you guys have that are overlapping where you're both awake?
This.
Now.
Right now.
We're taking off work time right now.
It also helps that we are both night owls, as in we don't sleep as well as we should, and so because of that, I'll be up later, and so we can, or she'll be up late. Yeah, so that helps.
Good. Yeah, that's great.
You mentioned in your intro, I think, one of the things I wanted to talk about was like being a content creator. You mentioned in your intro that you recorded the first episode of something, your project, or maybe the proto project, and you hated it, and it embarrassed you. That has been something at least I struggled with. Like, I can't tell you how many videos I've filmed and been like, ugh, I hate that. Like, I hate looking at this. I used to always say I'm okay being on camera, but I can't edit my own footage. Like, it just weirds me out. Right. And I'm like forced to do that now. Do you struggle with that at all?
Yes and no. I think I have to just detach. Like, I'm the kind of person, because of like just the way that my brain works, I can do a video 20 times just to get it right, and it's ridiculous. Like it gets to a point where it's like, this is not, you're not being efficient, and you're just allowing your insecurities to steal time. People don't see you the way that you see yourself, and you have a message to get across, just get it across. So I'm getting better at it.
It's also different in TikTok than in YouTube. So I remember the first time we put an episode on, and I called Marylaura and I'm like, bro, my head is so fucking big. Why you never told me my head is so big? My head is like the queen in that, in Alice. And Marylaura was on the floor laughing, and I'm like, fuck, what the fuck is this? Why did I watch this on the fucking TV? What the fuck?
Yeah, I can't watch it on the big screen. I can only
watch
I'm
the same way.
On my phone.
I've thought a lot about, and like, I don't want people to take this the wrong way. I understand that what we're experiencing is on like a microscopic scale compared to what BTS experienced, but it helped me feel closer to them in the sense of like how much pressure they must have been under to have to look at themselves and be filmed all the time, and like they don't get to edit their own stuff. Like if there's a bad thing, like we can edit it ourselves and like throw it away and record it. Like they just have to take what's out there.
And they're like taping each other asleep and putting it on. Like I would kill one of you if you did that.
I think it was Jimin took a picture of Yoongi asleep in his bed with his head back and then drew it.
Let me cross that off the list of the Kansas City things. Not to
mark that off.
Videotape stuff.
Oh, yeah, I was going to add it to the list. I was going to add it to the list because fuckery.
I do not sleep pretty. I do not sleep pretty.
No. So anyway, that's been my thought along the way, is like, I'm actually glad that the project has brought me closer in that way to understand on a very small scale some of what they went through. And also the process of, again, I hesitate to call what we do art. It's certainly not fine art, but the process of creating something and putting it out there for people to judge.
You're putting yourself out there, and the work that you've worked on, and if they don't like it, I always say it's the same as writing. If somebody doesn't like it, it's like them telling you your baby's ugly. There's just it's hard not to take that personal, even though
but again, we also realize that we can't be, we're not going to be the thing for everybody.
We're not everybody's chicken.
Yeah, not everybody's chicken. Like somebody, like you guys are somebody's chicken. Sometimes our chickens overlap. But there might be
But it's like this is what I always felt at my entire life. I wish that I could give this is going to sound really like just bear with me. I wish I could give my brain to a lot of people in this way. Why? It's not that I'm like fucking smart as hell. Fuck no. But the confidence I've always had, like even when I know that people might not find me the most beautiful person in the world, I believe I'm the most beautiful person in the world in every aspect. Like, and I don't, I swear to God, there's not a day I doubt it. And I feel like, why am I saying this? Because at the end of the day, it doesn't matter what the other ones think or feel. There's people who think that every Korean we think that is the most handsome person in the world. It's horrible. Literally every time that I show, listen to me. For me, Hyunjin is the most beautiful human in the universe. I don't know if you guys know who Hyunjin is from Stray Kids.
We're aware.
Like I see Hyunjin, and I'm like, he was literally carved with like angels carved him. And my friends are like, no. And I'm like, what? Exactly my point. So yes, we're never going to be everybody's cup of tea, but you need to be your cup of tea. You need to love yourself. And if you don't, do something about it. If it's the way you look, if it's the way you talk, if it's the way you move, like we can improve certain things about ourselves so we can be that for us. Because I think that the second that you love yourself, literally, this is what BTS taught me, you're seriously going to be a better person. You're seriously going to look for better friendships, look for better partners. You're not going to lose your time. I was literally watching an interview that Megan Fox did the other day. And Megan Fox is freaking Megan Fox.
Right.
And they were asking her, well, what advice do you give on like, you know, how to get men and stuff like that? And she was like, why are you bothering? Like, you know what I mean? Like, no, you don't have to look for that. And I was like, bro, I literally can relate with this person so much because now that I love myself and I know what I'm worth and I know what I deserve, I don't even look like I don't waste my time. You know what I mean? Like if he's not a spectacular person, I prefer to be by myself. And that's literally what BTS has told me. Like every time I listen to Namjoon, every time I listen to Yoongi, every time I listen Yoongi, the way that he wasn't happy with himself in so many ways. And he got out of the door out after this tour. He put the work and he's out there. So we can all do it, you know, whatever it is that is going to make you feel better, that is going to make you feel confident, just work on it. And if you need help from your friends, if you want to, like all my friends, and I promise you, my friends, when they're going to go out and dates or when they're going to go out, like, I don't know, and do something, should I wear this or wear this? Because they know if they look like shit, I'm going to be like, you look disgusting, bro. Like, you cannot wear this shit right now. Or if they look amazing, I'm like, amazing. So all my friends have been in my life for more than 20 years. And I think that we have that in Army. We have those friends that we can call and we can be like, okay, how can I do this? How can I get better at this? You're so good at this. Like sometimes with my talking, because like I'm bilingual, I say a lot of stupid shit and I'm like, Mary, bro, like I really need your help because I sound like a 2-year-old right now. And I
so relate to that, by the way.
So yeah, it might be cute, but it's not really what we need.
I do too, but I don't have the excuse of not knowing the language.
Correct. So I'm like, how do I say this? So the way that Marylaura speaks, she has that I know how to say it in Spanish. See?
Tell me, I might be able to translate it.
Como el don de palabra.
Yeah, to have like a silver tongue.
Yeah, she has like that, the way that she speaks and her
To be able to speak, to be able to like speak and do it in a really nice way.
That's our quiz.
She's so like she becomes like
to have the gift of word, you know. Like,
yes.
Well, and she's got that sexy voice that goes with it.
Yes, I was literally just about to say that. She's so attractive, like when she talks and she, you know what I mean? It's like
talk dirty to me, Marylaura, please.
Man, I've never
gotta
heard
work
someone
on
say
that
Army
because
so
she will do it. Don't
do is cackle.
Right here.
When are we gonna get Honey FM with Marylaura?
Yeah.
there you go.
That
Yeah. So yes, I just think that BTS gave me that confidence I needed. Like, in what aspect? Like, I've always loved myself so much, but I used to care what everybody else thought. I used to care if they thought that I was nice, pretty, like, especially my personality, because I have such a strong personality. I was always like, oh, am I too this? Am I too that? Like, should I do this? And then I'm like, this is who I am. And that's it. That's it. And
So are you
BTS,
head of the complaint department in your little project? You're the one that deals with all the. You probably don't get much paid.
I'm security, let's call it that way.
Yeah, the security.
I'm not HR, because I could not ever be HR. Because like
We have an HR department too.
We're
We have an HR department.
Is it me?
Yeah, no, I'm
pretty sure you
fired
guys told me
if
I was
HR
HR, and
with
I was
the
like,
kind of shit I said.
Christina
I'm
Haiti. Oh, thank
security.
God.
Yeah,
Security,
I
like-
sort out.
Either Katie or Stephanie. It's
I make sure all the
not
bad
the rest of
apples
us.
are scored out. That I'm really good at.
Are you
Yeah.
doing for contractor services?
that
Yeah,
actually,
contractor. Can we contract you out?
Oh, 100%. I love doing it.
Yeah.
that actually
Love
was
it.
a question that I wanted to ask you was, you know, how you process that kind of the emotional aspects of when you put your heart and your soul into a project and you put something out there for public consumption and you get those negative comments and those negative replies and the negative emails and you get the people who basically shit upon your beautiful prize that you just put out there and there's always this almost this feeling of like like
You want to know what the
so
funny part
hard,
is?
and we put so much effort into it, and then somebody's gonna come along and say negative things. And how do you process that emotionally and in reality?
So the funny
They can make their own project.
Yeah.
is that, and I think that this is something that is going to resonate with you guys. We haven't got a lot of bad comments. We haven't got a lot of bad emails. We haven't, like, no, except for close friends. Makes sense? So I used to be really close to someone and I lost my friendship. Like, I was really close to this person and she was going to be part of the project. She was going to be here. She was going to be our first guest. And she just decided to act some kind of way in the comments because she didn't. And that's the other thing. But I don't understand why there's like fights between creators and armies and stuff like that, like here, right? This whole situation was because she was upset that she was blocked from some people. And listen, I probably am blocked as long because like I have a full mouth of, I say a lot of shit. So a lot of people might not enjoy that about me and the way that I talk, and you know what I mean? And that's fine. And I honestly don't give a fuck. So I don't understand why people want to know why they're blocked or not blocked, and then think that saying it in a live, we treat this as, and I always tell this to my daughter and to Marylaura so much that one day my daughter was like, "Mommy, I don't want you to get fired." And I go like, "What do you mean?" She's like, "I don't want Marylaura to fire you because if you don't show up in Marylaura, remember?" And I was like, Brookie, it's she's because that's my job right now. Like, I'm not working. So
Right.
Brookie, no, I'm not gonna get fired. Don't worry. She's like, okay, that's so good to know. Like, she was so worried. But like, we treat this very professionally. Like, we literally sit down and write this, like, okay, the schedule, and this is this, and the ones that we have done and haven't done, and then what we're gonna say, the questions we're gonna ask, the subject, send the email, do this. Like, it's a very professional setup.
Right.
Because we're telling someone else's story. So you have to do that with you have to be very careful because you have to give the importance to the person you're interviewing that they deserve, right?
Yeah.
For people
We
to
always
come
say
in
we want to create something that the boys would be proud of too.
Yes.
Right? That's what we always say.
Correct. And for your friends to come and start trying to pick up a fight with someone in the comments of your professional life, like, this is not just like one of those lives where you're kicking with your friends, right? It just hurts because it's like, and I'm the type of friend that I'm like, okay, I'm gonna listen to you, try to understand what happens, but if you're full of bullshit, I'm gonna just be like, you're full of fucking shit. Like,
Right.
I don't care if you're my friend. This is not what happened. Like, I don't know what alternative reality this happened, but this is not it, and this is not okay. And that's what's hurt me. That noticing that a lot of the people who say they're close to you are not really your friends, and they're not really close to you. They're actually the opposite. And once you're shining, they just want to take you down.
Yeah.
Right?
They're like your frenemies, like the whole frenemy thing.
Yeah.
And like we went through
because-
something kind of like that, you know, and it hurts when people that you cared about or looked up to disappoint you like that. Like it hurts. And I wasn't expecting that. And like we talked about, like we all try to be like genuine and share ourselves, but then that also gives people the power to hurt you, or at least try to hurt you. And that's something I didn't expect. You know, you go and you watch creators and you watch their content, and it just seems so like cool. And it's like it is cool sometimes, but that's not all there is.
Right.
I think
People
for
are people.
me,
Everyone's a real person.
Yeah.
for me personally, one of the things that helped me the most was I was talking to one of my patients, and back when they first made it big, their manager told them, never read the reviews. That's my job. That's not your job. Never read the reviews. And at first they were like, oh, but this person's got good things to say, and this person loves me, and whatever. And they were like, if you allow yourself to read the reviews, you have to take the good and the bad. And that's not your job. Your job is to perform and do your absolute best, not to be perseverating on and internalizing, this person doesn't like me, or this person loves me, or this whatever. Just do what you're good at and let me take care of the negativity. Never read the reviews. And that concept of just like never internalizing those reviews. Like, you know, enjoy them or whatever, but like that concept of some people are just not going to like you or like what you're doing. And if you allow yourself, and then it reminded me of Namjoon back when they were early on, and he used to translate comments from people, and he would change the bad ones so that the other 6 only heard the good reviews. He was basically being that manager of like, you don't need to know all of the things. You just need to focus on what you're doing and enjoy the ride, enjoy what you're doing. Be as good as you could possibly be. And that really helped me a lot with that whole.
And I would say in this project too, we've reached a dangerous level of confidence because I'll tell you why. Okay, I'll tell you why. Because the 6 of us, if we could come together, 6 people from completely different parts of the world, completely different backgrounds, everything. If the 6 of us are laughing hysterically at something that we've done, it's a cut and print.
Yeah.
Because that's the kind of confidence that we've kind of instilled, and the trust that we have with each other. So
you have to have trust in the person you're working with, for sure.
Absolutely. But that's what we do. Is that if it's funny to the 6 of us. So it's the audacity. That's
the absolute audacity of any of us to think.
And anyone who doesn't find it funny is ridiculous.
What I also think is that the other thing that we have is that, and this is like one of the things that we were talking about the other day, which is true, is like women don't tend to support each other in work situations that much. There's a lot of like backstabbing, and I think that this group is like really special because we really are there behind each other, and we really support each other, and we really believe in each other, and we trust each other to like, and we know that something brilliant is going to come out of it regardless.
That might
take a while.
In some ways, easier for Soky and Marylaura because they can't talk shit about each other to anyone else.
To anybody else.
Do you ever just have to like role play and be like, God, that bitch.
Go look at your Yoongi picture and talk smack. Be like, do you know what she did?
No.
Listen,
I think we've always
we don't
been
talk
really
shit about
open.
each other behind our backs.
No.
I've
No,
never
but
been a person to talk.
we do jab each other, sometimes pretty savagely.
But to our faces.
We
that's
do.
That's
We
the
do.
thing. Yeah.
We do jab each other pretty savagely, but we know that it's like a joke, and we keep it like a joke, and we know it's like out of like love and not out of like, you know.
I'm sure you two must have like an open forum where you can be like, okay, like I just really need to fucking talk to you about something right now.
All the time.
Or like nonstop. It's like, yeah.
Something
Like
that really pissed me off and we just got to talk about it.
Oh, all the time.
all the time. Like we're constantly, and I think that's what makes it work. And I love that you guys have that as well, is when you care about each other as people, then you understand that the way that like that I feel about Soky is she's my friend first. It's not she's a co-host helping me. It's I'm like, I went to my friend to ask me to do this, and my friend said yes. We can put on our hats, and we do, and we can sometimes, we don't always agree, and we sometimes don't get each other, but we've got our our job hats on. But like we're able to take that off and always be like, you're my friend first, and so what's going on in your life is going to affect the project. And like we just hold space for each other. Like the last season 2, so Soky edited all the videos of season 2. That's Soky who did that, because I've always had health issues, and I was going through some more, and I was just like, I don't think that I'll be able to do it. And she was like, done. She's like, not just one. She's like, I'm going to do all of them plus keep up with everything else.
That's amazing.
And that means the world to me, because I'm like, that to me, I
That's very
know
cool.
that we care about each other as people first. And so I love it. And she's done such a fucking amazing job. Like, such a good
You're like, I
job.
should take off more often.
Right.
No, please.
There's
He's
stuff.
like,
I trust
don't
you.
give her
I trust
ideas.
you guys. Just go for it.
But I think it's also like when you're like kind of telling somebody, I don't like what you did here, what you considered here. I think it's also like we are all in the same boat, and we're trying to row in the same direction. So it's all for the good of the project. It's nothing personal. It's just we want this thing to be perfect. And it's like any time that I think any of us criticize each other, I think that it's like we're all having that in mind of like we're rowing in the same direction. This is for the good of the project, and it's nothing personal. It's just
That's right.
We're trying.
And
to
there's
make it
there's
better.
always a reason. We will explain and have endless amounts of patience for each other if we want to explain why we think something should be done a certain way. It's there's really a no end to the supply of patience, and we feel guilty when we can't get something done. But you know what? We're the only ones ourselves that feel guilty, because the rest of us are like, oh my God, go take care of your life, go live your life, first. And or if you need help with this, tell us, and we'll figure it out. So how can we make this easier for you? And so that also is awesome. And I'm just going to shout out, we have had amazing volunteers that have joined us and have been with us throughout the entire time, and they also do an amazing amount of work, and it's incredible.
And and they're like family now. Like
we definitely get more support for the 6 of us than just us. And we've been very lucky in that regard.
So, in our project, we live by the saying, launch and adjust. I mean, like, you start something and then you realize, well, maybe this isn't for us, or maybe this doesn't work. Is there anything that when you kind of set off in the project originally, maybe you got midway in and you're like, maybe we need to not do this, or we need to move more in this direction? Or was there anything that you kind of altered as you were kind of into it and realized this isn't our space, or this is our space? Or is there anything like that where you felt like the project started redefining itself or making itself more clear to you?
Yeah, actually it just happened. So basically, it's so weird when you change this.
I know.
I love it.
So basically, the way that we started the project was like, we're gonna do this as like an interview, and we're gonna ask questions, and this is going to be this and this from bottom to top, blah blah blah. But then we noticed that it's hard for the interviewer to keep up with the questions, and sometimes they just answer random stuff. And we're like, okay, like sometimes like because we start with one asking the questions and then the other ones, and we switch, right, so we don't overlap each other. So sometimes I'm looking at Marylaura and I'm like, did the person answer the question? Like, what? I'm like, I'm so confused because I have her script, like I have her questions, she has mine, and I'm like, clearly this is not what Mary asked. Like, what is happening? So what we've done now is that we decided that we're just gonna do 3 questions, and then we're just gonna have a conversation with the person, because it's easier for the other person, to just keep up. So that's the number one.
Or if they're like me, like you start the sentence and you start talking, and then like midway through, you're like, what the hell was I even, like, what was the question?
What was I saying?
What?
I'm having flashbacks to, has anybody ever done Toastmasters? I used to do Toastmasters at work. And one of it was prepared speeches, but the other one was to answer an impromptu question. And the number of times it just sort of takes a 90-degree turn.
I can see now why BTS, when they're doing interviews, they write the questions down on a piece of paper. Like as they come at them, they're all like studious. That's what I should be
It's
doing.
hard. It's hard. And also, like, sometimes for us, like when we're not, because there's a long period of time where the other person is having the conversation, you start just like dozing. And so having kind of like the conversation type of thing makes it more, fun and like, maybe a little less professional, but more enjoyable for both parts. So
Which is, I think, what people want anyway. People want more conversation than they do.
Absolutely.
I mean, I always feel like, we do prep beforehand, but I'm always very much more of I trust myself. I don't trust myself a lot, but I do trust myself in this instance where somebody's going to say something and you're going to take us off on a different direction. And that's the direction that you just let conversation go and trust that what's meant to be revealed is going to be revealed naturally versus trying to force, force something. Plus you get like 8 of us on screen right now, and we could all, go forever,
Correct. But like that. So it's with you guys at the end of the day, it's 6 of you guys. So when one of you guys don't want to talk much, the other one can cover. But with both of us, it's just like, especially on Mondays when we're just doing like, because like, so that's the other thing that we adapted. And is that we said, okay, we don't give a lot of space for us to interact with the chat. So maybe we need like a small live another day so we can interact with the people who wants to actually talk to us, ask us questions, suggestions, whatever it is. So on Mondays we go live, and for like an hour and a half, and we just talk to the people, to the president.
We the people.
But we had the same thing happen.
So we talk to Army on the chat, and basically we have like small discussions, and we just talk, silly things.
We had the same thing happen, and especially like we had other people who wanted to chat with us, and we'd love to chat with other. We were like, no, like Sundays, we really want it to be, if we have a guest, we have a specific thing we want to talk to them about, or we have a specific thing that just the 6 of us want to talk about. We don't really want to have unplanned guests on Sunday. But then we said, like, we'd love to chat with other people in the comments and on the live another day, just like you did. And that's why we added our Saturday morning. Friday morning. But we did the same thing of like, we just like to chat more casually and be able to interact with people. So it's interesting. We came to the same conclusion without talking.
Too.
Can't get to your Sunday lives. Can you do one at another time? Like all of our people in Europe and other places. So that's why we started doing the morning live on Friday, and now it's on Saturday.
Got you.
And that desire for interaction is really why that morning live is so casual. First of all, some of us are not morning people, and our brains are not fully functional at that early o'clock on a Saturday morning. But also we really wanted the casual interaction, the ability to bring people up into the live just chit chat or that have something that's going on that they want to talk about, or if they've gotten new merch and they want to show us what they got and things like
Right.
that. And so that desire for interaction really is the main reason why those Saturday lives are so casual.
Yeah. So I understand why you guys added more.
I do too.
It's such a wise move to add that extra ability to just chit chat and just be more free.
Yeah, and feel more connected.
That was Soky's idea. It was Soky who was like, I think we need to. And at first I was like, because as I am a talker, but I am, because I am an introvert, I run out of energy very quickly. So I will give my all to something, but then I will feel so depleted that I just want to hide. And so I was like, another day of talking. But I'm so glad that we did it because I love it. I actually love it because my brain is switched off and I can just hang out with people. So it's actually really, really good. Yeah.
I'm kind of that way too. We had a call before this, and I was really quiet just because I was like, okay, I gotta save up my energy. Just because I have bursts of moments. Yeah. More, less energy lately, but I can only be dialed in for so long.
You're doing great. You're doing great, sweetie.
Is there anybody above her?
Chris.
Head?
All right, Chris.
No, I mean, because I love people and I love talking to people and I love, the way that the project sort of.
Thank God you're here, Stephanie.
The rest of us trolls are like,
no bullshit. Yeah.
The rest of us are like.
Yeah, I think Marylaura, I think you and I are a lot alike. Soky, you to me are very much you're like a Katie and a Quince to me. Like they're going to be more, and Doc, like you're still very much, like you're everybody else on the team basically. But like, I'm Little Miss in my feels, more like worried. But I also think it's because like the account, if people have something to say, it comes to me usually. They don't leave that comment on the website or they don't leave it. It's on my account on a TikTok.
Well, they take it out on you.
Yeah, for some reason I get that. And so I kind of hear it at first and then I'm in the pits for a while. We don't get a lot, usually it's just like something ridiculous and stupid. But then I have the team that I can go back and I'm like, okay, I got this today. And then they can come back and be like, oh, fuck them, or whatever. And, help me.
That's probably a direct quote.
That probably is an absolute
I can imagine.
It would usually be something like we did something and somebody's like, but it wasn't enough, but I wanted this, but I wanted that. Can you do it another time? Can you do it? And it's like, I worked really hard on this.
Yeah.
I can't be available 24 hours a day, 7 days a week.
Yeah.
And I think that's
I have a life.
Yeah, we have a life, a little bit.
But even if this were to become your main job, right? And this is something I was telling my best friend the other day, because I remember it was Thursday and it was the day for the live, and like I had to get ready and all things like that. And like I said, like I get doled up for this, but 99.9% of the time I look like a homeless person, like 100%. And I was like, I don't want to get dressed. I don't want to do shit, but like I have to do this, And I was telling my friend, like, bro, you know what? Just know that everything is a job. Like now I understand also how BTS feels, because everybody is like, oh my God, their job is amazing. And this, I can guarantee you there's days they're gonna be like, I really, because like for some people, this is like the easiest job in the world. Like you're just on a phone, you're talking to friends, you're interviewing, blah, 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 blah. How is that a job?
Right.
I'm telling you, like sometimes just putting yourself out here for a bunch of people to judge, for a bunch of people to see, having to interact with other people's energy, it's a lot. So everything, like I know, and obviously there's harder jobs than others, but even the things you love, when it's like something you have to do constantly, it's gonna become a job. Makes sense? Like you need to have other things, and that's why it's so important to have hobbies outside this, because yes, BTS used to be my hobby, but if I didn't have, like, for example, other stuff that I like I love fashion and I love like makeup and things like this that I also watch in other situations, like I will go crazy, because talking about BTS all the time is like exhausting.
Yeah.
And also,
so what do you do? What is your downtime look like, so that you can kind of, because I'm like you, like BTS was my hobby, you know?
Yeah.
So now it has become my second job and my passion project. So
So
then how do you find something that now you can go get refreshed again and make
I
sure that
have
you
other.
aren't.
There's other K-pop that I like. Like for example, Stray Kids. I freaking love Stray Kids so much. Like, and now I'm getting into 80s because after Coachella, I'm like, Mingy, just please come and spit on me if you can. Like something like that, you know? So yes, that's important too. And also I love music in general. Like love music. So I listen, I have to listen to music every day or my brain goes crazy. But I listen to, electronic music. I love electronic music. I love rock. I love my reggaeton and my Latina type of things. So I listen to that as well. But and that's why I buy so many magazines because I love like reading articles and reading things like in the actual magazines. So I'm subscribed to Vogue and I'm subscribed to GQ and I'm subscribed to Vanity Fair because I love fashion. I genuinely do love fashion and love makeup. For me, it's like art expression on yourself, right? So the way that you can create anything in your face and with your body, it's for me, it's just astonishing. So I go and I don't know, I watch runways, I watch tutorials on makeup. Like when I was pregnant and I wasn't working, but I was traveling in different places in the world. That was my comfort, right? I used to sit down and watch Jeffree Star do,
Yes.
I love Jeffree. And he does tutorials and reviews of products and things like that. And then when I came to the United States, I was like, I need to find a job at Sephora. Like the only thing I know is this, and I got a job at Sephora. I was like, I have to put my knowledge into good practice, and I love working at Sephora. So so I think that for me, just like and like talking to my friends, like because all my friends are in different parts of the world. So I have another friend. She's in Australia as well, but it's a different hour because she's in Sydney, where Marylaura is, and Marylaura's time is different. And my best friend, he is in where you are in Oklahoma. Remember?
I'm going to see you in June.
Yeah.
I'm
So
so jealous.
Antonio is there, and then my friend who's still in Colombia, and then I have another friend in London and another friend in Italy, and and I have a daughter, so that's also a full-time job. And my daughter is super energetic and she loves K-pop as well. And she's in gymnastics and she wants to do ballet and she's like the girly girl and she wants to do makeup too. And I have to sit down with her and kind of teach her. So I do have a lot of things and I'm going to start working again because I haven't worked for a while. And I feel like I'm going to go crazy sometimes because like when she's at school and I'm at home, like, yeah, it's cool to have like nice time for you, but sometimes it gets like, okay, what am I gonna do today? Like nothing again.
Right.
Yeah.
Marylaura, how do you feel your time?
I need to stop. That's my problem. And that's just something that I've always, my brain, my creativity, I always feel like I have to be creating something, doing something. So my hobbies are my art. So it's either I'm painting, I'm either writing the next book or poetry, I'm working on music. Or just I think professionally. So I read a book probably 15 years ago that's showing my age, and it was called Think. And it's a really small book, but it's all about the power of professionally thinking, which is like sitting down for 15 minutes a day with a notepad and professionally thinking up ideas, whatever it is, passion project, business idea, where you want to go. And so I do a lot of that. I spend a lot of time thinking and charting out the next, where I can put my energy. I can't sit still in the sense, like, I mean, I can sit still, but I can't, like I always have to be working. So it's that cooking. I love cooking for people. I love cooking for friends. Spending time with my son, of course. Jonah takes up a lot of that, which I love because he is my bestie. I mean, I went to South Korea with him and it was just the best. I could not have imagined a better time. We behaved like an old married couple. Like it was the funniest, cutest experience for the both of us. So yeah, I think I just do a lot of that. Family, dancing, as in not like Soky. I'm not, but I just move my body. I just move what Mama gave me. There's
That's
always
all you need to
music.
do.
Yeah.
Yeah. And reading, oh my gosh, like I'm an avid reader. So I always have headphones on and it's either music, a book, or a podcast that I'm,
And are
yeah.
you like, which of you on your team, are you the big picture person? Are you the big dreamer? And then Soky is more or do either of you play that
think we're
role?
equal.
We're literally the same.
I think what I love about us is that we're both big picture. So if I say big, she's bigger. You know what I mean? Like if she goes big, I'm like, let's do this. So we're both big picture. And thank God we can also go to the small and bring it down. But yeah, we're both big picture, I would say.
Oh, that's good.
Yeah.
So have you
I
already
tell
figured out what
Marylaura-
chapter 2 looks like?
What?
What for us?
Yeah.
Well, I think for us, we would actually love to, and we know it's going to happen, actually, probably next year, travel with this, as in actually like plan to go to certain parts of the world, set up a space, and actually have face-to-face interviews and interactions and stories with people as opposed to send it in, because I just think that that's a touch that would be amazing. So I think we've talked a little bit about it, but yeah, like that's basically wanting to tell that story in a more face-to-face organic way.
That's really cool.
Yeah.
Cool.
That's really cool.
Project. We're starting to talk chapter 2 as well, and we have kicking around ideas. I mean, I'd love to travel, so you know.
Yes.
Maybe we'll just. I'll just pack myself in your suitcase.
Yeah, I was gonna say we're gonna have to get some sponsors for that.
Oh, absolutely. I mean, we're crazy. There's we literally have the energy of there is nothing impossible. Like we just, if we want it, we're gonna put it out there and we're gonna go for it. That's just.
I mean, I can hook up the Hinnebago to the truck, and then we can all live in the Hinnebago. It might need some work.
Look what you guys have started.
Yeah.
No, and we think that honestly, with Army, if like seriously, the sky is the limit, right? Like, basically, for us, there's 44 million Army, so most likely we're not gonna get to interview 44 million people. But if we get to interview at least 10,000 people of this fandom, I think that we will be very happy. And in a way, like I'm a person, and I always say things like this, and I don't know, it's whatever for me. Like it's how I think, so it's just how I talk. I know BTS watches this stuff. I know BTS probably is gonna watch the episodes on YouTube. I'm not one of those persons who's like, oh, if they maybe watch it. No, I know they're going to watch it. Like that's how I am. And for me, I also, when I was talking to Marylaura, I was like, you know what? In a way, it's for us to give them back in some kind of way. Because when I always have that JK live when he was like, oh, I wish I knew Army. And you know, and I was like, Army. And you would be like, JK and Army. And I'm like, you know, it's so sad because for real, they don't get to know us. They don't know who's the people who's supporting them. But imagine if they start watching the episodes and like, oh, I know this Army and I know this Army and I know what this Army likes. And it's like, it's fun for them as well. Like, you know, to give them a little bit of what their fandom is and show them how many people they have inspired and how many good people there is behind their fandom, right? And not just that we're just thirst trapping for them and then we're just like, you know what I mean? Like, no, it's that we really appreciate who they are as people, as artists, as, you know, the human behind all of this, right? So I think that's why I love the project that we're doing and that you guys are doing as well, because it's that as well. It's breaking those walls for me. I've never seen actors or singers or anything like up here. I see them right here with me. They're humans just like me. And I feel like what we're just doing is just breaking those bridges between us, right? And making us closer to each other because of the job they have. Many times they cannot just like, for example, I saw the 80s kids on Coachella just walking around, you know, having a good time. And people was trying to take a picture with them. And they felt so bad because they can't. In K-pop, they could not take pictures. So I saw actually a video of Mingy, and he was like, I'm so sorry, I can't. But you feel how bad they feel, right? They cannot get that interaction that Western artists do have, where they can go ahead and talk with a fan if they run into them in the street or whatever. And I feel like these videos might be that for them, right? A way for them to just go ahead and get to be close to Army without necessarily getting to be close to Army.
Right.
I think that's why so many of us
think that they're going to come by and read our, like, find our website, and they're going to read our blogs, and they're going to see like how much what they have done has meant to not only us and the people creating the project, but also to everyone who comes and leaves comments, and everyone who goes on and they do our bubbles, they do our Bangtan bubbles, and they, you know, they answer our questions. Like, they're definitely going to see all, even if they see one, maybe it'll lead them to another, and, you know, and they will see it, and it will mean something to them. So it's great that we're all cultivating the space, not just for ourselves, but for them as well.
Correct.
Well, and for each other, right?
Yeah.
And supporting each other's projects. And
Yes.
I mean, I think that's one of the things about the conversation that we've had. You know, there's a lot of shit that can go down, but our thing is always you support other Army and you root them on and you cheer them on. And if you want to try something, you try something. It's not easy, but if you can do it and you can find your place and you can find your chicken, knock yourself out, because the more the merrier. But I love that you guys are so accepting and welcoming and loving. And I think, like us, I think your goal is to be a safe space.
Yeah.
And I think the guys would appreciate that. You know what I mean? Because they're a safe space.
And like,
I mean,
if they were to
safe
find
space.
anything that any of us created, I just want them to know, like, that, look at the lives that they made better.
Yeah.
Like, how amazing it must be to know that your art made people's lives better.
Right.
Like, as much as fun and like having fun with it is improvement. It did make my life better. You know what I mean? Just as much as the more deep, meaningful things. So.
Right.
Yeah,
Well,
and to
and
know
they-
that there's
you know, they leave
space for
saying,
everybody.
Don't
you
forget
know?
us. Don't forget us. Please remember us. And they'll know that with our projects and other people, that we did everything in our power to not only keep them active in everybody's hearts and minds, but like, it's like they're gonna. My goal for this was they come back and Army is just as strong, if not stronger, together and ready for them to come back, so that when that concert happens, we are all just already all in it and ready to go, versus scattered. You know.
Yeah.
Little did I know
Don't
they
buy
were gonna give us
tickets.
so much to look at, but
Nobody buy tickets.
yeah, nobody else can buy tickets.
I think it's so important for me, for creative art, right? Since there is a bunch of us that it's very creative, and you know, in so many different ways, and that's why we put ourselves out here, right? Because we want to share with the world how we feel and what we want to do and how we feel for BTS and for Army or whatever. I just feel like there's space for all of us. Makes sense? Like,
Yep.
I don't think that we compete, or like, I don't think that the end purpose of this is to like put down other armies or to just look at me more, or like I want to shine more, because again, just like when I like BTS and I like Stray Kids, you know what I mean? Like, they can like so many others, right? And they love Army, and they're gonna love Army, and they're gonna dislike Army too, you know, because there's a lot of Army who's full of shit. And but the Army who knows they're doing the right thing, right? That is supporting other Army, that is supporting the group, that is being respectful towards each other and towards them, because that's also very important, to be respectful towards them and sees them as people and not just as dolls or things for their entertainment. Just know that there's space for you, and if you again like have the courage to put a video and to do whatever you want to do, a dance tutorial, whatever it is, like people who do makeup inspired by them, or like, you know, how they recreate their looks, or all of that, just put it there, because they might see it and you might bring out a smile in them, you know?
It's very
So
true.
I love to encourage people to just be brave and to just believe in yourself, and to know that, bro, like what's there to lose? You know what I mean?
Right.
There's
I
nothing
think
to
that's
lose.
why the dingo thing with Taeyang was so special. I mean, just the fact that she's like the luckiest army in history. But
I was like, Dingo. I was thinking the Dingo ate my baby.
Dingo
That's
ate
where
the
I
baby.
went. I was like, the Dingo.
Okay, that's where I went.
No, the thing where they got to have lunch or whatever.
Let's
Spend
talk
the
about
day.
Dingo stories. The
Dingo
Dingo.
stories. That's what it's called.
Dingo stories. Oh, I love
Yeah, I loved it, and like you could tell, he loved it. He was so excited to get to spend time with an army because, like you said, they don't get the chance to do that.
Bro, it was beautiful.
It was beautiful.
I watch that. I'm not kidding. I watch it at least once a week.
Quince is like, don't talk about it.
How do you?
And it's not even just because it's him. It's not even just because it's him. If it was any of the other members, I would also watch it quite a lot. Maybe not once a week, but a lot. Okay.
I bet somebody was really jealous they didn't think of that idea. They're like, damn,
But it
Yeah,
really
Tay
is, like, super
really
hard.
outdid himself on that episode. Like
It
the
was
way
so
he
cool.
treated
Oh my
Army
God.
was
So
the most
beautiful.
beautiful, and it was so genuine. You
Yeah.
can
Right.
tell it's genuine.
It meant just as much
Yeah.
to him as it did to her, and you could tell.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
He was not faking it. He was nervous. He was excited. He was happy. And then especially when they were in the car and having that heart to heart, and he got to share that part. And, and he said, I didn't have a lot of friends when I was younger, and you could just tell because, and you go back to the thing when they were younger and they first debuted, and he talked about like how people called him weird sometimes because, he thinks very differently. And
it's weird. They're all weird, but we love them. I'm weird.
he's
Because you're weird.
But
and
yeah,
they're
and you can
weird
tell,
too.
like it was really nice the way he got to share that with her and relate to her story and be able to give her that kind of comfort. So
And can we please also praise that army? That's exactly
amazing.
the type of fucking army we need to be. She
Yeah.
wasn't there thirst trapping or acting weird or calling him oppa or being she
Imagine.
was
Yeah,
she
she
was
was weird
hanging out with a
and
friend. She was being so cool, and of course she was nervous because I will even be nervous if I'm gonna hang out for the first time with Marylaura in person. When
Right.
you're gonna hang out with someone in person, it's nerve wracking.
yeah.
But the way she treated him and she made him feel so comfortable as well, that's what we need to do. Please,
Right.
guys, if you guys ever have a chance to have a conversation with them, to hang out with them, treat them as people.
Yeah.
I totally like that.
In these fan calls, all this BS,
God, it's
please
so
no.
weird.
The cringe.
We
Oh,
need to not do this anymore with the fan calls. Seriously,
The fan
Let's
calls.
not- oh my god, and the jokes like, "Oh, you will date me" and things like, please, bro, no.
oh, I know.
That's cringe. Like, let's
I
not
was
do it.
thinking about the other day. Remember on one of Jimin's last lives when somebody said they had a dream that they were dating and he broke up with her?
Yeah.
That one was really funny.
And then didn't he apologize? He was like,
Yeah.
He's like, I'm so sorry. It
But
was
he
my
seemed
fault.
really
Sure
proud
was
at the same time. He was kind of like, yeah, of course.
I absolutely would have.
That was I mean, you can't control your dreams. Anyway,
The
sorry.
thing I loved about the Dingo episode 2 is that it showed all of us that we are able to be jealous but still be nice about it.
Oh my
No,
God.
for real.
I hate her, but I love her. She's a beautiful human.
She's amazing.
He's such
like-
a beautiful human, and
I
I,
used to be that
I'm
way.
completely
Yes,
obsessed with him.
yes. Right there,
And-
Laura.
Yeah,
Totally jealous.
they did.
Army
They did.
definitely.
We can get her back.
I think a lot of Army still is, and but I think that I do think that a lot of Army that came in during like the pandemic era, if you want to say that, and maybe even later, some Army that came in during that time were probably more used to like Western fandoms.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And not necessarily as ingrained in K-pop or even the way that fandoms kind of work over there, and so it's a different level of it's weird because in K-pop there's a level of familiarity that is insane. Like
Yeah.
they give us so much of their lives, and you just get so used to we know okay, well they've put out an MV, we're gonna get all this behind the scenes content, they're gonna go live about it, there's all this other stuff, and that doesn't necessarily happen in Western fandoms with artists like that. However, there's a flip side in the Western world. I think we feel more comfortable being more familiar just because of the way that our society is. There isn't that necessary barrier. There is a sort of a cultural politeness barrier in like Asian cultures in the K-pop world, you know, like, and so it's weird that strange dichotomy where suddenly like all these newer fans, I think that were maybe more global, act a very different way.
But you know what?
Absolutely.
You know
I
what?
think
What
as
is
well, it's very transactional, right? The West, the way that we approach our artists or whatever, it is an absolute transaction. And when I encountered K-pop, especially BTS, at first, I was like, why are they sharing this? I was so weirded out by why they were giving so much of their lives away. And I think that would be every Western person who's come over would feel that way. It's like, this is not what we're used to. And it's so genuine. It's not staged. They're not
Right.
staging these personas. These is who they are. And I think that did get lost. I would agree that got in the transition of all these people coming over, the heart of it got lost. I mean, it's in anything
Right.
that grows.
That grows.
The people that were there at the beginning, they have the heart, the culture. They can tell you the mission statement. They can tell you this and that. And then as it gets bigger, you get further away from the core, and then it becomes a monster of its own making. And I think that's kind of what Army has been going through, is that core has just kind of gone.
But it's also, the fact that they share so much with us. There's also, there has to be a point where Army needs to be satisfied. Makes sense? Like, I'm going through something right now, and I'm going to tell you guys what the situation is like. And this is with Army, but in Latin America. Unfortunately, the creator that I'm going through all this right now, she's from Colombia, just like me. And she's a Jungi bias, right? And this creator has made multiple videos. She has hundreds of thousands of followers. And she has made multiple videos calling Jungi selfish and just putting so much bullshit towards Jungi out there because he doesn't want to share pictures of him in the military, or he doesn't want to share his, process in the military, which is absurd, but okay, if that's how you feel, whatever. But then she starts encouraging the fandom, and again, like I said, she has hundreds of thousands of followers, to take pictures of Jungi in the military without his consent. And she's telling them and encouraging Army to go ahead and start taking pictures. She's saying that will not be harmful for him. He's not going to lose money. He's not going to lose 1 day of sleep. Nothing is going to happen. And then it will be good for us. So she's putting that in their minds, right? And in my head, I'm like, not only it's absurd and ridiculous what you're asking for and against the law, quite literally, but how is that we're never satisfied?
Right.
That's my biggest question, is like, we literally just said it. Nobody in the Western culture does what K-pop does, the way they share their lives with us, how they talk to us, how they spend mostly, when he's not texting us, it's on video calls, it's on lives, whatever. And we're still not satisfied, and we cannot give them 2 years for themselves. We need to start if you really feel that desperation of knowing about a member that bad, you really need to seek help. And I'm not trying to be rude. I swear to God, I'm not trying to be mean or clap you or whatever. No. I honestly think that if you have that codependency to anybody ever, you need to seek help, because it's impossible that you are willing to do things to harm others, in this case Jungi, just to satisfy your, that I want pictures. We need
I'll cut a bitch. Leave my Jungi alone.
No,
You know what?
Stop. We as Army need to, and we need to learn how to tell each other to stop, not because we're friends. Like, honestly, like for me, if they posted a picture of someone else took a picture or whatever, you know what I mean? But like actively encouraging Army to do it behind their backs. And actually, Marylaura, you were telling me the other day, maybe you can tell them about this person who's in trouble because of this group they have, where they have pictures of people in the military and stuff like that.
Yes. So there's I read an article where there's like a Telegram. So people in South Korea use Telegram and other apps, but there's like a group of like 700 people who are under investigation because they are sharing all of this illegal pictures from men in military in the bathrooms and the toilets and the bedrooms, and they're sharing it in this group. It's disgusting. And so that creator that Soky's talking about, that's basically what she's encouraging, is go and break someone's privacy and then circulate it like they are not a human being, like they're not a person.
I would actually say that the creator you're talking about, I'm going to get in so much trouble. They're going to yell at me after this. The creator you're talking about is being selfish, because the rest of us in ARMY really want BTS and as a group and as their individual solo careers to be around for a long time. And the thing you could do to make them not want to do that for a long time is to invade their privacy and exhaust them with these demands and requests and sticking cameras in their, you know what I mean? Like that would make them quit. And so it's selfish of you to take it away from the rest of us because you aren't satisfied with the unending content that they gave us.
It's that whole, this is why we can't have nice things.
Yes.
Like those people are the reason
you know
we
what,
can't
though?
have.
So like
You know what, though?
this goes down to transactions in general. So like one of the things I see a lot in medicine is somebody will say, I have X amount of budget to buy, you know, medicine, supplements, whatever else. And there are some clinics who will say, okay, this is your annual budget divided by 12. This is how much per month you can, within your means, afford for medications, whatever. And other clinics will go to this mentality that says, oh, you have $5,000 this year. Let me see how fast I can suck that $5,000 out of you. And so they'll exhaust their annual budget in like a month or two. And then these people are like hating all doctors and hating all medicine because they said they had a budget, and these people in a selfish manner sucked that budget out of them as fast as they could. And the problem is the long-term thinking is not there, because if you will stay inside of that person's annual budget and divide it month by month, you're looking at somebody who will stick with you for years and years and years and years and years because they have the financial ability to do that. Whereas if you go in there and you suck out everything they've got in a matter of a month or two with this attitude that's like, I have to get it or somebody else will, and you treat them like you're going to die if you don't do this, you know, kind of attitude, what will happen is you will exhaust their budget and then they will go away because they cannot afford to continue this level of care or this whatever. So inside of my field, that's the analogy I have. It's the same with them. It's a transactional thing. They have only so many spoons and so much energy and so much in them to give and give and give. And if you will take what they give you in the manner in which they give it to you, you'll have Bantan for years and years and years and years. Whereas if you demand that you suck it all out of them in a short period of time, you've got the Bantan that almost quit us in 2018 because they were overworked and overexhausted, and they were basically done. They were done. They were like, we were getting a half a day off every once a month, and we had nothing left in us. And so if we keep doing these demands on them, this over and over demands, we'll suck it all out of them, and they'll be burnt out, worn out, and done. Whereas if we will accept them with the immense amount of stuff they give us, and the insane amount of things they give us, and take what they give us and accept it for what it is, and enjoy it and appreciate it, we will have them for years and years and years and years.
Absolutely.
And they want to. They love music. They love dance. They love this art that they give to us. It's you've watched them process their emotions with their music. So let them have that.
Yeah, absolutely. And you can't say that you love them and then actively want to take their privacy away or hinder their joy or their freedom. Like you cannot. It always surprises me how many people can say, I do this because I love them. I act this way because of my love. That is not love. That is obsession.
Correct.
That is ownership. That is a weird entitled
That is selfishness.
It is selfishness. It's self-seeking, and I know the majority of ARMY are not that way. Like I genuinely believe the majority of ARMY love the members. They love ARMY, and they just want to enjoy this ride for as long as we have it.
Yeah.
but it's always going to
I
be that
think I would
bad.
agree. I would agree. The majority of Army are here because we love these boys. We're going to take everything that they're willing to give us in the volume that they're capable of giving it and
Yeah.
comfortably.
Listen, Taeyong said it best. He said 90% of Army will get it.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yep.
And
It's
the
just
other,
that
well,
10% is very loud. So the 90% need to be louder. We need to
Statistically
be loud.
speaking, when you have 44 million of anything, you're going to get some outliers.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So I
100%.
don't actually happen to agree with people and they're like, Army's so toxic. You have 44 million people, you're going to get a lot of different people in there.
yeah.
And what you have to do then as an Army is
Oh,
when
sorry,
you're
my
comfortable,
cat is being.
share with people.
You guys
or
haven't
set
seen the
example.
cat? He's like, bitch,
I
stop.
have. I know. He's like, Christina, shut up.
Have you
Get
guys
off the
heard
big
him?
screen."
Paying attention.
Yes.
I heard
Soky
it.
pulled a
Your
Namjoon.
cat just Namjooed your mic.
Yeah, totally.
The cat is like,
Christina.
why? Like, he just left. Like, he came, disrupt their life, and he left.
He was like, thanks
He's
for
like,
protecting
fuck you,
me.
bitch.
Yeah.
Feed me. That's what he was.
Okay,
Thanks for
Christina, you were
protecting
making a
us.
good point. What were you saying? I'm sorry.
Sorry.
No. The cat is better.
No, it's really.
The cat is better.
Does your cat
Yeah.
say
But
Namjoon?
it's my roommate's cat, and she's on a trip, so he feels abandoned. And he comes at night and he starts doing the, you know what I mean?
I
When
love
they
cats.
put
I
their
totally
head
Eating
and
the
they
bread.
start like going
I'm all
like
about
this, and he's upset because I'm not letting him do it. Because I'm like, oh,
Oh.
stop. So yeah. You over
totally
here.
understand.
Just being a you just
So we've almost been at this for 2 hours, believe it or not.
Yeah.
So Marylaura, tell us about this 24-hour thing that's coming up this weekend. Tell us all about it.
Okay. So we're having a 24-hour live, which is so crazy, but we're so excited, and it's to launch Project Cold Hope Army Project, and it's all centered on just getting back to that part where, in a massive collective way, Army is consistently doing good, right? Because I think everybody wants to see the world change. I don't know very many people that want the world to stay the way that it is. I do think, however, that sadly, people don't want to jump on something until they see an it person jump on it. You know what I mean? Like they want it to have some kind of, I don't know, clap, whatever. But we just are all about Army is such a massive community that it is so easy for us. I mean, I've said this for years. Literally, if it was just one day a year where 40 million Army gave $1, that's all it would take every year to literally make such an impact. Because yes, money fucking moves the world. And when it comes to suffering and injustice, I've done fundraising for so many years. And the one thing they'll always say is, it's the money. You can send the food, you can send the clothing, you can send the shoes. It's a logistic nightmare. Like, it's great. Those campaigns are amazing. But if you can get that money into the hands of people that are on the ground helping the people in need, that's the way to go. And so it's just an idea of, we've got to stop complaining about the corporations. I mean, not stop complaining, but stop only complaining.
Right.
So we can boycott them. We can demand that they behave better, but we have to lead by example. And so it's all just about us leading by example. The campaign is simple. We're going to launch it's 2 parts. So there's a GoFundMe and change.org petition. We just need 1 million signatures from Army, easily done, and $1 million. And all it takes is 1 for 1, 1 signature and $1. And we're doing it for a year. And then we're going to be distributing the funds to 4
So
different
we have
organizations.
three charities right now. Can you tell them a little bit first to the Congo and the A21, and I can tell them about Kwakolandia?
So we've got the three charities so far. So the first one is Focus Congo. I don't know if it's Focus Congo, if you guys have come across it.
I've actually donated to them before. Yeah.
They're amazing. And Papi Orion is like, you can talk to this man. Like, I think people also get really iffy about giving because they're like, well, where is my money going to go? But we really wanted to pick organizations where you can see the work they're doing in real time. And with Focus Congo, you can see them building those homes in the refugee camps. You can see them doing the food drives. You can see them helping the children and the women who are fleeing the conflict. So we're doing Focus Congo. We're doing A21, which is an organization that centers around helping rescue children and women from trafficking, which is so important. The world is so dark in that respect. And then we are still trying to look for one that focuses on the care of elderly, because that's important. Like, I think the elderly is a community that just gets left alone to die and nobody ever really cares about them. And then we have an animal and conservation one, which Soky will tell you about.
So basically, when we were doing this, like when we started talking about this, we the first thing for us is what more like can be like what can be more amazing that for BTS to find out that we helped so many people when they were gone. You know what I mean? Like these people actually started doing something positive for the world, and they didn't wait for us, to do it, but they did it themselves. So that's the first thing, because the second thing is that we want Hive. We don't want BTS. We want Hive to match the donation, right? Which is very important. So if we, the people, can donate $1 million, they easily can match that $1 million and also put it in hands of people in need. So we wanted to be able to help as many people as possible. Like I was saying, it's not just one little group who's struggling or going through stuff. Even with animals. So there's something that is very dear to my heart, and it's called Cuacolandia. And Cuacolandia is in Mexico, and it's this. It's specifically for horses, and it was this. How can I call it? Sanctuary that a beautiful woman, her name is Elena, had for or has, well, she just passed away recently, and this is one of the reasons why I want to help Cuacolandia so much, and it's because she always was like so empowered, trying to help these animals, right, rescue these horses, and she created with her hands. She wasn't a millionaire, she wasn't someone with power, and she found a way to find this huge place where to have these horses, and unfortunately she just passed away, and all the horses are there now, and who's going to help the horses now? So that's very important for me as well, to be able to help, and also in very different parts of the world, right? This sanctuary is in Mexico. We're going to help people in Congo. With the elderly, we're going to try to see where can we find somewhere that is very reputable, right? Because yes, the elderly is one of the small groups that get it the worst. They don't get to find jobs. Their families a lot of the times just get rid of them, and there's no hope. And a lot of the homeless people right now is elderly. So I think that we're doing this 24 hours live to encourage Army to start doing this. To also start your own fundraiser, to just go ahead and be what BTS have told us to be and teach us to be, and show us. And let's use this for something positive, not just to kick it and whatever. Yeah, that's nice, it's cute and it helps us, but you cannot just be in the world and just get. You have to give back. And you don't need to be a millionaire, you don't need to be empowered to give, and you don't need to demand it for the government. You don't need to ask the millionaires. Do it yourself. You know what I mean? We always should start from us and then demand other people to do things. It's very easy to point fingers and to say, do this, but what if I start? You know what I mean? I'm not happy with something, so I'm changing it. And we do have the power. When Mary gave me the video today for us to post, she said something in it which is we are the power, and we really are. And we're 44 million people. So we are a very powerful fandom. We really, really are. We need to start, you know what I mean? Being we are powerful and we're making changes. Yeah.
I mean, we are bigger. Army is legitimately 2 times the size of Australia.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? That is the power that we have. And whenever the members or Hive says, here's a shiny trinket, we go, yes, please, and not even think about it when it comes to what we could collectively do to make a difference. So yeah, that's why we're doing it. It's going to be fun. Every single hour has a different army showing up to just help us. And Steph, you're gonna be there too, and I know Leslie. And It's just fun. Like, we are so excited to just have fun with Army, change the world together, and yeah, just kick off something that I genuinely believe could really be something special and big.
Make those positive voices louder, like we were saying.
Absolutely. Yeah, because I mean, if we've got, what is it? We've got Army that are able to come together every year to spend the hundreds of thousands of dollars on birthday billboards that the members themselves don't even see. Why can't we get together and actually help legitimate humans?
You can make a lovely free message on Weverse.
Correct.
Right?
Correct. That's more likely for them
But
to
they're more likely to see it on Weverse than they are.
There you go.
Right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So if you go to, if those of you that are watching, if you'll go to Marylaura and Soky's accounts, they have put a video up, and it's great because it shows everybody that what they're going to be talking about, when they're going to be talking about, what the hours are. It's a really cool lineup. It's going to be really fun to watch.
Lots of different subjects and activities too.
Yes.
Yeah, so
much room for
when you do
activities.
your makeup tutorial, make sure you do makeup for old people, like with hooded eyes.
Yeah. Oh, look, it's gonna be for everybody, and it's so, just so everyone's clear, it's the 27th. It starts, but that's 11 a.m. for Australian Eastern Standard Time.
So it's the 27th for Mary, the 26th for us.
For everybody else, yeah.
They put
Very
it
good.
on the TikTok
For
because I
us
was
in
like,
not Australia or that part of the world, it will start on the 26th at night because it's Eastern Standard Time will be 9 p.m. But for Central will be 8 p.m. And for California, I think it's like 7 or 6 p.m., something like that. So it starts Friday night.
Okay.
Yes, and then it will start for Marylaura on 11 a.m. in her time zone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So are you going to get a lot of sleep beforehand? Are you going to pack on to sleep? Or
I am going to sleep so well this week because I've been so sick. I'm still unwell. So I'm planning to get to bed 8:30 every night so that we can survive it. Yeah.
Okay, good. Well, we're going to be rooting you on for sure. We're very excited.
I'm sure we're going to pop in here.
Please do. It's going to be fun.
Yes.
And wait a minute. Sign that petition and donate that $1.
Yeah.
So
I have
all
1,
those
2, 3,
links
4, 5,
will be up.
$7 in here. 6 or 7?
I will give you $7 for 7 members of BTS.
7
All
members.
those will go live on
That's a good idea.
Yes, they'll be posting the links in their live. If you guys haven't already followed Soky and Marylaura, make sure you do so.
Yeah, there's 82 people following us. That's $82. So
$82.
No, it's for, we have to call people out. We have to tell them. We have to
That's
make
why I
them.
love Soky, because I'll be like,
she'll do it.
Also,
Yeah.
Soky, Leslie has pointed out in the chat that it's another 3 from our mods, which are Leslie, Riven, and M. They're amazing.
Thanks,
It's
mods. You guys have been
$1.
doing
Like, for real,
a
that's not
banging
even
job.
a coffee. That's like, seriously, and I know even like, I know there's hard times right there. Like, I know we're in hard times, but when you don't, like, my mom always told me you don't have to give from what it's left, is what you don't have. Makes sense? I don't know how to I'm trying to translate it from Spanish to English. Like, when you donate, like, oh, I don't need this, it's not the same that when you donate, you know what, I could use this $1, but this person could use it even more, so I'm gonna give it to this person, you know. So let's help, bro. Like, if we just don't do something, the world is just gonna sink in, and that's just, I have a daughter, and that's not what I want for her, you know.
Amen.
Yeah.
Well, that's amazing. Okay, well, we all got to work tomorrow, so we have real jobs.
Thank you so much. It was really, really fun.
You guys, thank you for coming.
Yes.
I'm joking. Like, I know you guys are so busy. It's really great of you to make time to come and do this. And we were really looking forward to it. And you're awesome.
We love you guys. I think your project is amazing. I really do. I think you girls are just a group of genuinely beautiful souls. And I think this project has helped more people than you'll ever know.
And beautiful people too.
Yeah.
Right back at you.
Thank you guys. We love your project.
Right back at you. We love you.
Before we go, really quickly, guys, just a reminder, it is Sunday night, and that means that at midnight tonight Eastern Standard Time, we have a brand new Monday Muster dropping. So we have a brand new week of content. We're getting ready to go into week 17, which is going to be our last week covering the Wings album. Wait, third week? Last week? Third week.
Third week. We have
I'm
one
so
day after this. Week
Doc
18.
and I are always in different weeks. We're always like a week ahead. With
Quince and I are currently in the last week, which is
I
week
forget
18 for you guys.
where I am half the time.
But speaking of loving yourself,
which is our third week with Wings, and get yourselves pumped because we're getting back to Cypherland, y'all.
love yourself.
Exactly, like what Soky was saying earlier. I love myself.
Always.
Get ready for that. And speak before we go, really quick before we go, guys. Speaking of Wings, we really wanted to ask you guys this question. What are your guys' favorite solo songs on Wings from the members? Which one is your favorite?
Wait, there's something. I just got a notification from Weavers.
What? Shut up.
Don't do this. They always do this when we're live.
They do this to us. Hold on
What
one
is
second.
it? I need to know.
Hold on,
There
I'm
was
looking.
a shiny
I've got my computer up.
notification earlier.
If you follow multiple groups, it could be somebody else.
No, it's BTS. I only follow BTS. I order
It's a new
stuff.
media release. It's an official trailer for 365 BTS days.
Yep.
Okay.
Are we gonna watch it together? Should I point my phone at the screen?
Yes.
It's only 2 seconds, so
It's only 2 seconds.
yeah.
It's a calendar. It's a calendar, guys.
It's a calendar.
Okay.
It's a calendar. It's a calendar. It's a calendar.
False alarm.
Woo!
Hold on, everybody.
False alarm is a
It's
calendar.
okay. It's okay.
They
We're
always
good.
do this when we're live.
Okay, back
with
to
the whole
Back to.
like the new merch. I'm like, I honestly think that is going to be a new album. So I'm like, why don't you
Yes.
just drop it?
that's why I'm trying to say like calm.
I hope so.
It's gonna be something bigger. It
No,
has
it's
to
going
be.
to be. I think it's going to be an album that they're just gonna give us for Festa or something like that.
Yeah, they've never
Yep.
just dropped merch for merch.
Yep.
I still think I'm still voting album. Like, I'm willing to be wrong, but I don't want to be. I still vote it's an album.
Yeah,
That,
it is an
that
album.
they're
Yeah.
reversed. I agree with the theory that they are reverse dropping content on us, where it's like starting with merch and going to end up with an album instead of starting.
That's what I hope.
You're driving us crazy. They're starting with the merch.
I mean, what else is
and
new?
then-
Reversing the entire thing.
And he clearly teased some kind of album because he is standing in front of a microphone. Anyways,
Exactly, Kitty.
that's just my
They,
2 cents.
they keep us well
Cat
fed.
knows. Even the cat knows.
He's
It's
harassing
Yoongi.
me.
That cat is you telling us.
Stop it.
It needs love.
This cat is manifesting Yoongi right now.
No.
Yes, it's
Right.
an album.
But really quick, I gotta know before we go. Favorite solo song on Wings?
Damn.
Is Blood, Sweat, and Tears on Wings?
It is, but
Yes,
it's not a
it's
solo
not a solo
song.
song,
No, but
but
she
that's
wants
okay.
a solo.
Oh, solo song. Oh, obviously.
Don't Votes Begin?
Ah,
What are the
what's
lyrics?
Yoongi? What was Yoongi's?
First
First
love.
Love.
First love.
Oh yeah, that one.
You got the piano.
First love.
Ugh.
Sophie?
First love for sure.
Oh my God, it's so hard. It's just like, it's so hard, especially in Wings.
I know, right? It's such an amazing album.
Yeah.
No, and you guys want a solo apart from that.
Is Reflections? Is that Wings?
Reflection is Namjoon.
Yeah.
Reflection is them.
I love that one.
Which one is the Jin one? I know I love
Awake.
Jin.
Awake.
Awake. Yes, I love
I love
Awake.
that
Oh,
one.
Awake
I
is
love
so
Awake.
beautiful.
Awake
They're
is
all
so
so
good.
beautiful.
There are no
Voice
bad
is-
choices.
There's
No,
no bad
There's
choices,
no bad
right?
choices.
There's no wrong
They're all
answer.
good.
No,
No,
wrong
no,
answer.
Awake is amazing. I love
It
Awake.
is. Those notes.
But I also love Stigma.
Oh my God,
I know, right?
It's impossible. It's impossible.
It's impossible.
It's impossible to choose.
There's no wrong
Yeah.
choice.
No wrong choice.
Comment is like,
Because the other
oh,
option is lie, and lie is amazing too.
Yeah,
I
Lie is
don't have a
amazing too.
favorite anything with
Yeah.
them.
Listen, I
except-
don't have a favorite, but I listen to Mama the most just because the beat works with my community.
Mama is so good.
Well,
I love
Begin is amazing.
yeah, see, they're all amazing.
Yes.
Yeah.
We're all great.
How do
No, and
I
then
tried
know.
it, but I
you know what
that
happens?
one.
You choose one, and then you remember the other one, and you're like, oh
I
no,
know.
fuck this one. It's
I know.
That's how I ended up with 5 biases.
Yep.
I mean, fair enough. Fair enough.
We do it
There
for
are
songs
7
too.
days in a week. There are 7 different men to bias.
Wait,
Go.
real
Exactly
quick, because I'm
right.
not sure. So, can I guess the biases real quick? I think I know stuff.
Yes.
I mean, it might be easy.
Well, yeah, you already you gave yourself out, but like, so yeah, Tay.
But I am actually double biased. So if you can guess my
Okay.
other one.
So Tay and I think probably Jimin. No,
JK.
who is it?
Yoongi.
Yoongi. Okay. So Steph is Yoongi, but I don't know who's her second bias.
Jimin.
Jimin. Okay.
Yeah.
So for Katie, I want to say she has a J-Hope type of vibe. And then I want to say Namjoon.
I would say mostly Yoongi and Jimin, but also Jin, Namjoon, and J-Hope.
Okay.
So really just most of them.
Then Christina. Well, she has Namjoon behind her, so I'm going to say Namjoon. Oh, but she also has
she's got
J-Hope
all
and
the
Yoongi.
rap lines.
Okay,
Here's
so
the
she has
entire
the
rap line.
Okay, but I think that you're a Namjoon person. I can see it. Namjoon and Jin.
Christina, who are
Me?
you?
Yeah.
No. Nope. Yoongi, since day one.
Oh,
Rap
wow. Okay,
Yeah.
so for Patricia, probably Yoongi as well, and JK.
Nope. The entire rap line.
Okay.
I'm
Oh,
confessing,
Wonder
Yugi's
Man.
my ultimate, but the entire rap line.
Okay,
Just put all three together. Basically, that picture.
okay, but what's the order?
Yugi the first.
So
Namjoon the
Yoongi,
second.
Namjoon, and J-Hope, or Yoongi, J-Hope, and
Namjoon the
Namjoon?
second, J-Hope the third.
Okay.
Although J-Hope is doing a lot of wreckage right
Yeah.
now.
Doc. I think J-Hope and Namjoon.
Kind of close. So I'm Soap. J-Hope's my alt, then Yoongi, and then my records are Namjoon and Tay.
Yeah.
Gotta love
So, yeah,
soap.
we all bias Yoongi in some way, shape,
Yeah.
or form.
Of course. Mine is JK, Yoongi, and Namjoon.
Everybody.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we do not have, and we love you, JK. We love you dearly, but we do not have a JK bias on our team.
Soky can be our honorary
Yeah, you can be
JK
our honorary
bias.
JK
from the
bias.
I
She's
team.
like,
can
that's
be
fine.
your- I volunteer as
volunteer.
tribute.
Yeah.
You volunteers.
We have volunteers that bias JK very hard.
Yes.
It was
But now
always
we
you.
do
Yes.
and
Heather
me.
for one. Yes.
Heather,
We have
Heather
JK
is,
biases
love JK.
and Jin biases inside of our executive volunteers.
yes, we have Jin bias. We have, yes, very enthusiastic biases in our volunteers as well. But thank you guys for indulging us in those questions.
Yes.
Thank you,
Thank
everyone.
you.
Seriously, it was
Loved it.
so good. It was so
Thank you.
good. So
Yeah.
pleasant talking to you guys.
We had a blast.
Yes.
Yeah.
We love you. We will see you Friday
Love you
night
too.
when you start your 24 hours.
Yay! Oh wait, we
Fighting,
still
we're
have
rooting
on
you on.
Thursday. We still have our usual. On
Yes,
Monday
we
and
still
tomorrow
have it.
we
It's
have our chat.
Becca's on Thursday.
Correct. So
Bang,
on
bang,
Monday
bang.
we still have our
I
chat
think-
with everybody like for an hour at 8:30, and then
Okay.
on Thursday we have Becca as our guest.
Awesome.
Becca.
We'll try to move our
All right.
team meetings so we can get some of it. That'd
We
be
love
awesome.
Becca.
Yeah,
There she
it's gonna be
is.
great.
Yep.
Okay.
Awesome.
I'm in
All
the-
right.
All right.
Love you guys.
Thank you guys. for
Have a
coming.
great night, everybody. Have a great week.